Hunter Biden, Daddy's gonna set you free. Hunter Biden, why don't you climb up on my knee?
This is the American Fork Podcast, the only podcast you need to listen to.
Ever.
We're a group of friends that have been friends for a long time. So I want to throw a reminder out there. Our voicemail line has changed to 38 lard gobs. That's the new number. For some reason, we lost the old one. So don't call that number.
Or Stacy will answer. Not your Stacy.
No,
just
it's
a
just
random
someone.
one.
Yeah, some random girl who does answer the phone at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, you called her?
Yeah.
I called it once because I was like, does it work? Because we never get any messages.
And you called it
from
at
anyone.
1 a.m.
It's a good time.
Yeah. If it was just a Google Voice line, it would go to voicemail. But it wasn't. It was someone's
Did
phone.
she sound tired? Was she like, hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, mystery woman, so we're sorry.
I was like, is this not the American Forked Podcast?
She was probably getting bombarded by our listener, though.
She probably
I'm
had
sure-
so
by
many
our
people
listener.
call.
Yeah.
She had so many calls, I'm sure,
Yeah.
from
It's
other
Hilarious.
She's like, you guys stop calling me.
people. So,
What kind
yes,
of phone
as,
did I adopt here?
as always, if you do have anything to mention to us, show topic subjects or anything, any gripes that you have, call us at 38 lard gobs and leave us a voicemail or send us a text message.
Nice.
I like it.
As normal, we like to start with news locally, and I do have a couple news articles from American Fork. And in this case, nobody was dead, so that's
Huzzah.
good. Nobody died,
That is good.
Yeah.
at least not that I'm reporting.
Oh.
The first one I call a Savin' Maven.
Oh, yeah.
So y'all remember
Jeff's already
old
mad
news.
about
a little while back we had the Governale couple who own Maven Cinemas, the old Sticky Shoe in American Fork, and they were excited about the years to come and everything they had going on, and
I was
we
too.
mentioned it also
way.
that they had
Yeah,
Jeff
Jeff
was really excited.
Jeff went every weekend.
Jeff was their biggest fan.
Yeah.
Maybe pound for pound.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
But not. I went a handful
they
of
did get
times.
pickles though, right? I think that
I think so.
put you over the top.
Well, they got
They probably
pickles
did.
for you.
They
Stop
did.
it, guys. Maybe that's why they went out of
They
business.
were your best friends. And
Are pickles flammable?
So, as we mentioned, they closed shop because there was an electrical fire and the landlord refused to fix all the issues. So they just said, okay, we're done. And now they still have the same passions. And so they're interested in sparking up some new theatrical endeavors in probably Spanish Fork. I think they're looking at a specific cinema there in Spanish Fork. And they're working with a couple other businesses. They have a GoFundMe to raise basically to recoup their startup costs for when they were in American Fork to hopefully do the same thing going forward.
Yeah.
So you can go to, if you like the idea of the Sticky Shoe coming back, you can go to GoFundMe, and the name of their GoFundMe is called Savin' Maven.
Which is
From
creative.
Devastating
That
Fire.
is creative.
Savin, Savin, Maven, Maven. Just type in Maven Cinemas in the search and you'll find it.
So they're actually trying to find another theater and do this again. Because
Yeah.
when I read it, which you know how I read,
Mhm.
I read the headline and then I hung up. No, I read through it and I was like, oh, they're trying to basically recoup a lot of money, which I'm sure it sucks. Like I feel so bad that, anyway, I don't feel bad, but I feel like I understand the situation they're in. But it looks like there was an update done on this since I read it last. So, yeah. So they're trying to find a place then.
Yep.
That's really
That's
cool.
awesome. Yeah, I hope it works out for them.
yeah, I don't know, because, well, no, I'm not saying I don't know. Like,
I don't know about
I hope it
that,
doesn't work out.
actually.
just with the landlord thing, it might have just been like unfeasible, unfeasible,
Inconceivable.
Not feasible.
inconceivable, non-feasible to repair the electrical You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
probably a far bigger endeavor that
Yeah.
the landlord didn't
I'm
want to.
sure.
Like if I were going to blame someone, it would be American Fork City, who is notoriously the absolute worst bureaucracy to deal with in like
For
the
their-
whole state.
When it comes to
For what? Building department?
building.
building
Yeah.
department
Really?
and even opening a business, it's like there's a lot of
Really?
stuff you got to jump through.
Why?
I don't know. That's
Like,
just
like
how it
for
is.
example, I recently met with
Phil, give me an example.
so there's like a trust or whatever that owns that old Harrington school.
Oh, yeah.
And I went and met with them about some potential projects they want to do. And they said that they had to there were like a couple lawsuits or something between the city and the family that owned that thing. Like just to actually, I think it was over ownership. Like the family owned it and then the city tried to say, no, we own it. It's adverse possession because it hasn't been used in 50 years or whatever. So they had a big lawsuit. The people won. And then the city's been giving them a real hard time,
Doing anything.
doing anything,
Yeah.
right? So,
There's one city in Salt Lake County. We won't even, our company won't even do construction in at all because they're so terrible.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Which city is it?
Taylorsville.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not joking.
The one we're in right now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's funny.
We've done several projects out here, and each time it was such a joke. We're just like, we're not even coming out here. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
entire population of Taylorsville.
Yeah.
But there is such a thing of people that are just so, I don't know if incompetent's the right word, or it's just such a bureaucracy that's like you can't even get anything done,
Yeah.
and it's not worth it. So what they get in return is probably a whole bunch of people doing projects without permits,
Yeah.
or they just get people that
moves to some other
go to somewhere
city.
else or do something else.
Yeah.
So
Well, I may have said before, when I lived in Boston, I worked for he was really like a property manager / owner. Like he owned a bunch of apartment buildings, and that's 100% how it was. They never pulled a permit for even like major, utility construction or structural stuff that required like a bunch of engineering. Everything, all their subs, everybody was just used to operating like below the radar.
yeah,
And even sometimes they would go work in basements after hours where no one could see them going in and out because
yeah,
it was literally because Boston City would just come out and be like, oh yeah, you wanted to replace that outlet? Well, we just condemn the whole building because you've got to update everything. So we're kicking all 50 of your tenants out.
Wow.
It's literally like that. And as I'm saying that, I'm realizing it's the same thing with American Fork. We just said, oh, this outlet's caught on fire. We're making you update the entire building's
The whole electrical.
Yeah.
needs to- oh, geez.
Which maybe I didn't see it. Maybe it's really bad and
Yeah, I
needs
was
to
gonna
be
say,
done.
I feel like that building's pretty old.
Yeah. It is. And yeah, it probably has been neglected.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not a building like you got to be really rich, and I imagine the person or the people who have bought that building haven't been. Otherwise, they would have updated it.
Yeah.
Because it's not that type of theater isn't a moneymaker. It's like you got to buy that theater, put a lot of money in it, and plan on never getting your money back. It's like almost a donation to the community type thing.
yeah, almost like they could have done a charitable, or it's 501c3 or whatever.
Yeah.
So the GoFundMe summary basically says funds will go to recouping the startup costs. Any surplus will support continuing to bring nostalgic films and events to community venues and small businesses, and ideally securing a permanent new home. So they still want to do it. We wish them luck because they're awesome.
good people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked having them on.
Yeah, I liked listening.
Did you ever go see any movies there, Phil?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Well, it was like 3 weeks later. They were out of business.
Yeah,
They came on, and then it
sucks.
was like you went to a couple movies, and then they were
Yeah.
done. So that's a bummer. I was
That's
rooting
all.
for them. If I come into a lot of money somehow, then I'll
You'll go
hit
fix that
I'm
outlet?
going to hit them up.
The
Ditto.
single outlet.
Ditto.
I'm
yeah.
going to buy that building and redo it. Make it real
Put
nice.
a 20 amp outlet on that one plug.
Yeah,
That's it.
I'll just put a gold.
Upgraded electrical.
I'll put a gold zero battery
Electrical.
next to it.
Yeah.
Other American Fork news.
Oh, more.
This one says, but did they even want to be found?
Okay.
Intriguing.
Sounds risky.
So there were 3 American Fork children rescued in Arizona after 2-year search.
2 years.
There are 2 kids that were
Ran away from
missing
home?
a couple years ago,
What?
and they were just recently found in Arizona
How old
Wait,
were they?
and returned to their mother.
American Fork kids?
Yeah. How old were they?
Let's see. I forgot.
Okay, so
So there's that.
So you and Jeff.
I thought it
don't
was
read the article.
Phil, I thought it was Phil and his
I
ex-girlfriend.
read the whole thing.
okay,
Oh.
this is misleading because I've worked it out in my brain. Because when
Okay.
you first said it, I'm like, oh, they're in the forest, and the helicopters were sent in to rescue them.
No.
What it really was like a family.
Yeah, that's kind
thing
of what
where-
I'm thinking.
yeah.
Like, there's got to be a relative involved, probably a parent.
Yeah, who took the kids, and
Yeah.
then they found where they were and went and got them, and it was really like dad took them, and
Yeah.
mom didn't want them to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right. There's a tie to the FLDS church. The father
Oh.
basically wanted the kids out of the house, is what I gathered. There is not a whole lot of information in the article. They couldn't name the children. It says because of their ages, and they didn't give their ages.
Oh.
Well, they're under
Um,
18 then. That's all that means.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
probably old enough to, like, not be.
It, like not be. Oh yeah, because there is
My
an
brain
age,
is buffering.
there's
Help
an,
me.
There's an
Yeah.
age where you're like 13 or 16 or something. where
Yes,
you
that's what
can
I'm saying.
decide
Like, old
what
enough,
you want to
not
do.
like super young, because then that would have created, like, a much bigger
Yeah.
commotion
Mhm.
than them just being teenagers.
they were boys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because
They're
isn't
lost
there
Probably
something?
teenage boys.
Isn't there something like the boys? They like want them out of the community.
Yeah. The Lost
Yeah.
Boys.
Yeah,
They kick them out
because they're like, this is gonna be a potential like
if they don't.
wife stealer.
If they don't fall in line, basically, and they
Yeah.
like contest or challenge the head guy. Yeah. Wesley's doing that right now with me.
Yeah, and you're already like
Let's
getting them
get
out
outta
of
here.
there. Yeah.
You're almost 6.
Go to
Yeah.
Arizona.
You're done.
It says
Find
it
a
says
job.
their father, who authorities believed orchestrated their disappearance, allegedly arranged for family members affiliated with the FLDS church to help hide the children.
Interesting. That makes me want to know the situation
Yeah.
a lot more.
Like
Because
what
if
was the
church? Yeah.
family situation like? Why
Yeah.
were they troublemakers or?
Or was there like something going on at the house, or like where they were living in American Fork, to where the dad felt like they needed to be saved in a way? You know.
Yeah.
Dang.
Anyway,
Too bad.
more
we didn't
details
know.
may come out.
It's
This
these
was
kind
only
of
a
things.
couple days ago.
It's these kind of things that make you like start ignoring Amber Alerts.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
What?
Amber. Yeah.
You just
It start ignoring Amber. I didn't even think about that. Do you ever get like when people are like Amber Alert? You're like, why did you choose my name? Yeah.
I'm honored.
Yeah.
I actually
Really?
changed your
That's-
I
ringtone.
think isn't it actually
You
the
an
amber, color?
Alert?
Amber color. Oh,
I think it's the color amber, not the name.
I thought it was because like there was a girl that
Amber
was
is the
stolen
color
that
of
was
the
Amber.
energy.
There was her name was Amber. And
I
so they
I
named
thought
it
that
after
too,
her.
and once they came out with a silver alert
Oh.
and a red alert, I was like, oh, maybe amber. It's like
Is a color.
of your energy.
Of your energy.
But yeah, why would that? Why would that be
That is my theme song,
the
guys.
color though? Wouldn't it be like red?
Yeah,
It'd
you
have to
think
be an
they'd pick
extreme
something
color.
like that. Yeah. Why
Or
amber?
black.
Okay,
Amber's
we need
like a
to-
soft color.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, why would? But
really,
but a
really
missing child is the max of the max. It's got to be like
Like a
red,
black
or
alert.
black.
Yeah.
Neon green.
but maybe it is the
Neon
name
green.
of a person. Because,
That's what I was saying. Like, maybe it's named.
and I never looked
after
into it. I
someone.
just assumed because they had all these other different color alerts. for
There's
missing
no way
people.
we can find out. I
We
don't
could
know.
not.
Yeah, I'm
how
not
in the
trying
world
to find out right now at
could
all.
we ever figure that out? Because I always thought it should be the Elizabeth alert. 'Cause it wasn't
Why
Elizabeth Smart's father
is-
that worked with.
Yes, it was
With
named
the
after a
government.
person.
Okay,
Ooh,
it was.
What's her name?
Her name Amber.
Oh, Amber stands
Whoa.
for
So I was
America's
wrong.
Missing
Hagerman.
Broadcast Emergency Response.
Oh, so it's an acronym.
Yeah,
It is an acronym, and also named after a young girl who was tragically abducted and murdered in Texas.
Amber Hagerman.
Maybe the silver alert is because the Silver Surfer's so old and he went missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And it was named after
Yeah.
Silver Surfer.
Not a
Yeah.
stretch. Not a stretch at all.
But I was saying that's why people, at least people like me, ignore them now. Because like every time I look at it, it's like
usually
dad
something
took
like
them
that.
or mom
Yeah.
took them. I'm like, this is a family matter. It's not a matter for the general public to be freaking out about. Unless probably in some cases, dad taking the kids or mom could be like a life-threatening thing.
Yeah.
But
If my
I don't
kids
know.
were young, well, I don't know, any age, and like there was a situation like that,
Yeah.
I'd want the public's help.
Yeah, and the reason they have it is because of one of the most serious abduction cases of Elizabeth Smart, from someone who wasn't a family member.
Yeah.
And so it's a serious issue.
Yeah,
That was a wild one.
Mhm.
that was.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Elizabeth
there,
Smart?
but yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear? I got a full like rundown on what was the girl, the beauty queen girl that got murdered.
JonBenet
Ramsey.
Oh,
They
I just
did a
watched that.
Oh, you did? I haven't watched it
Yeah.
yet.
It's good.
I didn't watch it, but I can tell you, like, it was so interesting because I've always heard that story on the sidelines, like growing up, and you know what I
Because
mean?
it's
I'd
always
never
been
even
there.
heard it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Crystal was like,
What?
"You've never heard?" She's like, "How could you not have heard of it?"
Hey,
Oh my God.
Trenty!
Hey, Trent.
Hey!
Hey, Trent's here. You're so excited. He hasn't been here in like 17
Years.
podcasts.
First time.
Yeah, but
Hey, Trent.
he came in at the best story ever.
Elizabeth
Hey, we
Smart.
were just talking about a little girl getting murdered.
Do you know who John
What's
Benet
your input?
Ramsey was?
Yeah, how could you not? She was in like
didn't
all of the what are
Tabloids?
those trashy tabloids?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
I had never. I didn't know anything about
Really?
it. I didn't even like recognize.
Where
the
were
name.
you in December of 96?
Yeah, what's
Tell
your
us
alibi?
this now.
I was just like probably in Jeff's basement.
You were in 5th grade. I think.
Oh, 5th grade?
Yeah.
No, I was just like reading a bunch, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not a sturdy.
I
alibi.
remember a Monica Lewinsky scandal like it was yesterday. O.J. Simpson, I remember. I just never remember. I don't remember John Benet Ramsey.
It was just like kind of like smut stuff. It was on like all the tabloid crap.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it never went away. Like
It was a circus.
Yeah.
well, it still is, according to this
They
documentary.
Yeah.
they just resurrected a research task force to look further into it.
Yeah.
wow. Maybe
well,
they have new
last year.
information.
Well,
Actually, don't spoil it if you've watched the documentary.
yeah. Well, I should say this though. It won't spoil it because they postulate like a bunch of potential people, murderers or whatever,
Yeah.
and one of them is like, "Oh, that's the murderer." He's,
Oh, that's
guy
kind
that
of like
calls-
the Zodiac. Have you ever watched
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
on the Zodiac where it's
Yeah.
pretty like this is your guy?
Yeah.
but they. could
That's
never
how
get
this
him.
was.
Oh,
And
okay.
and he even was like, "Yeah, I did it," and elaborately explained how he did
Really?
it. And then they like something was weird about the DNA, and they're like, "Nope, sorry." So
No
he
match.
left the country again.
That's so messed up.
Like they caught him in Thailand, brought him home. He's like, "Yes, I did it." And then the DNA didn't work, and so they're like, "I guess you have to go."
Bye.
His
Yeah.
DNA was broken.
Something like that.
Wow.
There-
DNA didn't work.
No DNA.
It must have
match.
been a serious case.
Yeah, you'll have to watch it.
He broke his DNA. Wow.
It's pretty wild.
Crazy.
It was good. It was well done though.
Yeah. Apparently, there's like, so Crystal was like, "Oh, there's another one on Amazon, I think." And then we looked on Amazon. There's like 7. They're like
Yeah.
a ton of documentaries about it. And apparently, each of them have like a different viewpoint. Like the parents did it, the brother did it. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
remember
pretty
hearing
wild.
those
yeah.
ideas.
So,
But we all know you guys didn't want me to ruin it, but Santa Claus did it. Let's go.
snap.
Next
Yeah.
story.
With the help of Rudolph.
And Craig the Elf.
Isn't that actually the thing they accuse?
Santa
Santa
Claus?
Claus? Yeah.
I didn't hear
What?
any Santa Claus in there.
Oh.
Not
one
in
of the
the
theories is
Netflix
that
one.
like the night that she went missing,
Because it was
they,
around Christmas.
they hired
Oh.
a Santa Claus to go to the kids' thing,
Yeah.
right? And then a couple days later, she went missing.
Hmm.
But and also the photographer. Anyway, is that the avenue they go down? Just
No.
ruin it. Who cares?
It's
Your
from
grandma doesn't. Your grandma's not watching the documentary.
It's from 96.
I'm gonna watch.
Yeah.
That's when it happened, 96?
96.
The Benet thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time
Christmas of
ago.
96.
Yeah.
If they haven't watched the movie,
Yeah, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, right.
Well, is that
There's-
almost 30 years?
Who do they
What?
blame?
How many
Who,
years
96.
ago?
Who do they blame
well,
on?
Yeah.
it's 28 years.
They
ago.
didn't blame anyone in the Netflix thing. It was one
wasn't it
of
the
those,
phot-
like,
But
was it
it
the
was like-
photographer?
No, in the Netflix one, there's one clear pedophile, like I was saying, that they pull back from Thailand.
The photographer?
No, he's just he was just like a lurking pedophile. It was in the timeline matches up.
Her.
They saw him lurking around the house. He literally said he did it. He explained this disgusting, elaborate obsession with her and how he did it and all that stuff. And then they're like, "Oh, the DNA we found in her underwear doesn't match his. So see you later." So he just leaves. But now they're like, "Well, was the DNA?" They're like, of 20 different items they recovered, they only tested 3 of them for DNA or something.
Yeah.
It was weird. The DNA was definitely suspect, but that's why they just and this one detective, I don't want to ruin the whole thing for you, but
You already did.
I mean,
Pretty sure.
this one detective that is just hell bent that it's the parents all this time, even though they're so clearly not the parents. So I don't know.
Yeah, there's also another one where there's a photographer that would photograph her during the beauty pageants.
Yeah.
And he was caught with a whole bunch of
Child porn.
it was child porn, but also not really, but kind of
Well,
this is really creepy.
It's like
You be
pictures of
dressing your
kids at
6-year-old up as a little hoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
You should?
he's
You should?
You guys all
I think.
said
Oh, you're
yeah.
I think
asking.
we're assuming you're saying no, and we're agreeing. with
yeah,
that.
I thought you
all
said
you guys
you
were like,
should have been.
yeah, I have daughters. Yeah, those little sluts had it coming.
Trent, we've missed you.
We did miss you. No, but that was a big part of it too. Was is it the parents' fault because they put him in these pageant things? Which a little bit,
Yes.
I'm yeah, the pageants are nuts.
They're not
But
driving themselves to pageants.
But
Yeah.
mom
Yeah, it
was
is crazy what they
Miss
have
West
to
Virginia or something, or Miss Virginia.
Look
I don't
how
know.
that turned out. Murdered kid.
Wow. Okay.
Exactly.
And after the swimsuit competition, we're gonna do heinous thing that's gonna happen in your life competition.
Oh,
You
Yeah.
win.
Yeah, it was weird, and the mom was I think people that do that are just naive.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
They're
whole
weird.
scene is weird.
Yeah.
The whole scene
Pa-
is weird.
Pageants are weird.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this and you like to put your kids in pageants,
You're weird.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Just don't.
You're just
Well, and I get it because she's ideally, or she's what we thought is that we're just there, and the only people that are there are just other parents of the kids that are
Right. No, there are no pedophiles
Yeah,
there.
but
at all.
it turns out that they're all photographers, all kinds of people come out of the woodwork,
Yeah, I could only imagine.
kids pageant.
dude. My kids do dance pretty intensely, and there are people that are weird about it.
Mm-hmm.
Parents that push their kids to do it. You have to do it. You know what I mean? You can tell the kids don't really want to do it. But
It's
they're
the
kinda made
mother
to.
living vicariously through her young
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you can tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets a little
Yep.
weird.
daughter. Yeah, it does.
You wanna know something even weirder?
No,
maybe
Go
is
on.
in the Philippines.
Okay.
In the Philippines, when I was there, they had this music group called the Sex Bomb Girls,
Yeah, of course.
Excuse me.
which was probably the equivalent of the Spice Girls
Uh-huh.
in America, but maybe a little scantilier
Are
dressed.
you sure with a name like Sex Bomb?
And
It's what it's Spice Girls would be if there were no FCC regulations.
yeah, something like that. And so when you go to the mall, there will be a stage and a whole bunch of 7-year-old girls dressed exactly how the Sex Bomb Girls would be dressing and doing all the dances the Sex Bomb Girls would be doing, and everybody's just oh, how cute,
Yeah.
and it was that was
these are
that was
puppets?
weird. Yeah,
Wow.
that was bizarre.
So the Sex Bomb group was adult consenting age to do whatever they want,
yeah,
but then local people would reenact this with their
7-year-olds.
Children.
minor
Wow.
children.
And it wasn't like they were all creepy pedophiles. They were just these naive moms and stuff that were just look how cute they are.
Have you seen the
But-
South Park where they show it was back when all the rage was to dress your girls like little hoes still,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and they just talked about how every parent loved it. Oh, they're just expressing themselves, but it was a hoe fest. It's pretty funny. I'll find it and I'll show it to you.
Yeah,
Bunch
yeah.
of honey boo boos.
What era was that in?
Well, even
I don't
in
have
like
kids, I
some
don't
of the cheer dances
so
that we
weird.
would do, some of the songs, like thinking back on it, you're just
Yeah.
like, what the?
They let us
Yeah.
perform to that song.
Yeah. Peaches and cream. You can do it. Put your back into it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's
Like,
that's
no.
involving like, hey, there's
No,
some
but
effort.
then the
At least you were
like
but then
elbow
the
grease.
dance moves, though, I'm
some
just
elbow
telling
grease
you,
into
like
it.
looking back on it, it's just interesting
When I
what
move
you
a-
accept culturally when
Right.
it's like
When I move
Yeah.
a couch around, that's my first thing I go to. I'm like, you can do it. Put your back into it.
You
Some
can do it.
elbow
Put your
grease.
into it too.
Well,
Is that like
yeah.
what you
Yeah,
do
that-
too? Oh, okay.
Into the couch.
into the couch.
Get it?
No, but I think the same thing too. On like, I'll go to
JD
my
Vance?
girls' dance competitions, and then groups will come out with like not a lot of clothes on, and they're like bending over towards the audience, like shaking their butt, and you're like, pretty sure they're like 7. Don't think
Yeah.
that. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm glad my
Pretty-
daughter's not in that group.
Pretty sure maybe not.
Probably not.
Don't. Mhm.
Probably no reason.
Remember
for that
when
one.
don't do that? Yeah. So speaking of
Good
pageants,
subject.
Yeah.
Mhm.
there are a lot of pageants in Las Vegas.
Uh-huh.
Those are called strip
This,
clubs.
this next article
Lot of
is Utah
pageants.
news.
Mhm.
Utah news. It
Vegas.
says what happens in Vegas crash lands in Utah.
Oh,
Oh, I heard about
Nice
about this
segue. Nice segue.
Thank
Jim.
you.
I thought that was a UFO.
No, it was a small private aircraft.
Oh,
It was piloted by an older gentleman and a student pilot.
mm-hmm.
They had some malfunctioning issues, mechanical failure issues, and they decided to crash land on I-15. They didn't actually crash; they'd successfully landed, but they caused an accident, and there was one death from one of the
Really?
drivers of one of the vehicles. That's
Wow, that's
and,
crazy.
And what I heard
it's in
is that
Payson.
the police successfully shut the freeway down. They landed, but then somebody way back in the line was like texting or
Not
something
paying
and
attention
ran
and just
into
rammed in.
Yeah,
Oh,
which happens like every day in Utah.
yeah.
So
Yeah, that's why they're able to successfully land the plane. Because
Wait, was it a jet or was
No,
it a
it
prop?
was just a single engine prop
Oh,
plane.
okay, cool. That's cool.
yeah,
Wow.
I don't think they let students fly jets.
Well, the first time you fly a freaking jet, Phil, you're going to be a student.
Was it an F-35?
Everyone's just born a freaking professional, Phil.
Love the defense.
Sorry.
So
Yeah.
that was last week, I think. So
Wow.
Yeah,
And
it was-
you said Payson?
December. Oh, it was this week, December 2nd. Yeah, it was on the freeway by Main Street in Payson.
Wow.
yeah, it was just a couple days ago.
Yeah,
That's
What?
exciting.
What? Yeah. That's kind of cool. I always wondered, like, what would that be like if I was driving down the freeway and a plane landed in front of me?
right.
Yeah.
It'd be
Maybe
something
that's
you'd
what
never
caused
see
the
before.
accident. They were like, oh my gosh.
Well, what Phil's saying is they shut the freeway down and someone
I
rear
know,
ended
but
someone
I
else.
was trying to give them at least a little.
I'm not on board.
Okay. Sorry.
Well, before we get too far away from underage,
Let's
scam-
let's go back
Oh,
to
yeah, Phil's
let's go
favorite
back
subject.
to pedophile pageants.
No, because we have this thing. I can't remember. I always forget what it's called. It's called like Clear View or Clear Play.
Clear
something.
Play.
Oh yeah, it cleans things up.
It
for
cleans
you.
the movies
Okay.
up. Remember how we used to go to that
Oh.
Sunrise Video and you'd
Yeah.
rent like
Yeah.
a clean thing?
Boring.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that now with like real movies. And so we watched Transformers with our kids, and we turned modesty, like off or on or whatever you'd say. So
Make
that-
the movie modest.
yeah. So there's only like 2 shots of Megan Fox in the whole movie.
Really?
But
So
but
the movie's not watchable. Then.
but yeah, but in one scene you could see her like in the background, and I was like, "Whoa, she really was dressed like a hooker." Like,
she was
The-
not dressed like a
yeah,
hooker.
pull up a picture of Megan Fox.
Give
Yeah.
you a Kleenex at the same time.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
sounds like. Google lights.
The lights are dimmed already.
Yeah,
We're halfway
pull up
there.
a picture. Now dim those.
No, but
Someone
she's
whisper in
supposed
my
to be
ear.
like a teenager in junior high or high school
Yeah.
or something. I don't know. I thought it was like who is this director that's like, let's dress this girl up this
You need
way?
to go to like a high school football game
Yeah.
outside of
Oh,
Utah
dude.
County.
That's what Jeff says. Is it's
Yeah.
like it's
I
terrible.
went
I used
to
to-
one this year and I walked. I was like, "What the like tube tops? Where was this?" when
Yeah,
I was in
yeah.
high school?
Oh yeah.
Where was
Amber's
this one?
complaining about it, and I'm like, "Get out there and freaking popping cherries or something. Go dance, girl."
Oh.
So my daughter goes to when she's in 11th grade now, and her school isn't even the worst one. But the kids that come out of school, they like just unzip their hoodies and literally wearing tube tops and it's so inappropriate. And the funniest part is the teachers cannot dress code them because it's like some of these kids will pull it like, oh, were you looking at me?
Yeah.
Like, literally.
Yeah. That's
You can't say
that's
anything.
what I thought.
The admins can't say anything.
They can't do anything about it.
We brought this up before because I'm like,
Yeah.
remember when Mr. Green would be like, your shirt's too low cut?
Yeah.
Be like, and now I'm like, dude, that dude was like,
See, you're on the side of the kids.
yeah.
I think the kids are just using it as an excuse, and lawyers and parents of like, oh, I'm just going to do whatever I want, and then I'm just going to say, oh, what? Did you look at my thighs or something like that?
Looking at my 16-year-old daughter.
Yeah,
exactly.
See, so not these pictures.
No, they're fine.
Yeah.
Not the pictures from the movie.
Yeah.
That's from the movie right there.
So it's not showing her legs, but that's like where
To be fair,
that's the bottom of her pants.
when my mechanic
in
works
that-
on
in
my
that
car,
outfit.
he arches his back
I
like
don't
that.
see a single thing wrong with that.
Yeah, I feel like it's fine. I think
Your idea of modesty, the fact that you put a modesty filter on a PG-13 movie,
For a 6-year-old.
why is your 6-year-old watching Transformers?
That's true.
Because
a good movie.
Because I edited
The
it.
modesty filter should be you not putting a fucking DVD in the player.
Yeah. What happens to you being the filter?
It was Netflix.
It's in your name.
no,
But you just don't. It's PG. Like it's probably PG-13, and it's a 6-year-old.
You know what was funny about it is he already knew. Like we've never talked to him about Transformers. We never showed him the movie. They knew all the robots' names before
really?
they even came on. Bumblebee. That's Optimus. I'm like, what? Where did you hear all this?
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
No, it was fun though. It's a good flick to watch with kids, and it was actually nice to cut all that stuff out.
So I'm having a ton of fun with Bella now. Bella's 16 years old, and she has she's so desensitized that I'm like, okay, it is time to like start showing her really awesome movies. So we were watching Tropic Thunder the other day.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, she is like.
You didn't turn the modesty filter on?
The modesty filter you wouldn't even
You'd
understand
cut out
the
the whole
story.
thing.
Yeah, and the graphic filter, but like.
I've never seen
It is
that show.
such a funny
haven't?
movie.
No.
And it's so inappropriate at
I
parts.
know.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing
Oh,
out.
you don't know
I
why I'm
haven't seen
laughing
it
then,
either.
because
Why
Tropic
are we
Thunder
even
is
doing
like
a podcast right now? Let's just commentate
Yeah,
through
let's just
Tropic
watch
Thunder.
this.
Tropic Thunder is like side splitting, like, and it's like what's the word? It'd be so you could never make that movie today.
Oh, no.
It's like
yeah,
so-
I know. I've heard with Downey Jr. or whatever.
Yeah, here's the
His
thing.
character.
So the whole reason we watched it was because my daughter comes home and is like, guess what we learned in history in a history class today? I'm like, what? She's like, we were talking about blackface. And I'm like, wow. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting that they're talking about it in school.
Let me show you.
Because I don't ever remember
Tropical
talking about
Thunder.
blackface in school. But I'm like, yeah. And some people, anyway, we did talk about it. We're like, yeah, people have done it. It's not okay. It's done as recently as Tropic Thunder, you know. I'm like, but amazingly, this guy never like got any crap for it.
yeah,
And he's like, what? Or she's like, what? And I showed her a scene and she laughed. And I'm like, let's watch this movie.
yeah.
And I forgot some of the parts that are like, oh my God, this is so inappropriate, but hilarious. Like one of the guys was like a rapper or something, and he has a company called Booty Sweat, and it's like a drink. It's called Booty Sweat, and then the other one's like Nut Jerk or something like that.
It's freaking funny.
It's so inappropriate,
Sounds
but it's
quality.
funny.
One
When-
of these days,
when-
Jeff's gonna be like, "So I was watching this porno with my kids, and I was
No.
like, this porno was the one."
No.
That's so funny. You brought up Tropic Thunder. It is.
Tropic Thunder is so good.
It is funny. It is like ramped up to 10.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like-
And
It's wild.
it is Tom Cruise, my favorite character that Tom Cruise ever played, because he is such
Well,
an
that like
asshole.
made him like do a little comeback because after
Yeah.
he lost his mind and danced on Oprah's couch, like
Yeah.
he needed something to, and that really is like what kind of spurred him back into
Yeah.
it to show he's not as crazy as what he probably seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then was after that all the Mission Impossible stuff?
No, it was like in the middle of him.
Oh, okay. Well, we're still in the middle of them, aren't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
I haven't seen any of those. I'm so over them. I don't know why.
I think this one. So I just saw the preview for the last one when I went to the movie, and I think this is it. At least according to the title.
He
and
dies.
Well, I don't know. With
What's it
Bond, they were like Spectre. This is it. This is the last one.
The final something.
And I think he even said it was his last one. But then it was like not very good, and they're like, we got to do one more. So
Mission Impossible. That's all, folks.
yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if this one is actually it.
I've seen only a couple of them, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This last one was pretty good. I think
Yeah.
is the first half of the last one or whatever.
what movie did you watch in the theaters?
Gladiator. I went with
Oh,
Beagle.
how was that?
It was good and bad.
Yeah,
Like the acting and all the effects and everything were where they
top
need
notch.
where
The
they need to
story
be.
sucked.
The story was
Dude,
like
Was the
what?
soundtrack
Yeah.
nearly as good as the first one?
No, only the parts that they literally copied from the first one.
Oh.
Like they literally had like some of those themes or whatever, but then like a different guy did the music. So it was like not quite as good.
I do not understand that how like people are like these places are making movies where it looks incredible, the acting's great, and the story is just like this has got no depth to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because we talked about with Tropic Thunder. Like they're afraid to do something new, different, like
Yeah.
try to do something edgy. They're just looking like, we just want people to come in here and not complain about
Take the storyline from something else and make it into a.
it. Yeah. What if we did this, but with like a twist? You're like,
Here's
we're
my
none
idea.
of that.
Moana
Oh,
2.
I watched
Huh?
it.
Did you
Huh?
watch
Yeah.
it? Was it good?
Yeah. I liked it.
Was it really good?
I didn't like the music as much as I liked it in the first one. But I don't know if it's just because I know the
Yeah.
music from
Yeah.
the first one. But
Well, it
it was
wasn't
cute.
Lin-Manuel Miranda in
Yeah,
the
that-
second one.
that's what they
he
say.
did most of the songs in Moana.
In the first one?
Oh.
He's the
He
guy.
sang in some of them. Actually, he was the tribal. When she had the vision of we were voyagers and
Yeah.
them on the
Yeah.
sea. He's singing that.
Who is
song.
this guy?
Mhm.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Hamilton.
From Korn?
From
Yeah.
all of the last Disney movies in the last 8
he
years.
wrote
That's
Hamilton.
Eminem's real name.
Korn?
Uh,
Oh,
Lin-Manuel
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Miranda.
mm-hmm.
Eminem's mom just died.
It's
good story.
Oh, I saw that.
Just throwing that out
And I
there.
think
Interesting.
his brother or somebody was like, I hate that. Beep.
I mean,
Something
Wow,
like that.
he wrote so many songs about her.
Yeah.
he
I'm
did.
wondering how he's processing all that. Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see. He'll
Mm.
probably have an album where he's
Yeah.
talking about his
Man,
mom.
he's got no
and
muse to write
trashing
about
Trump.
anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's probably done now.
Well, Trump's elected, so he's got some more stuff to rip on.
It won't be as good. There's nothing like a mother who like abandons you in the street and like throws up on you when she's too drunk.
It's true.
And just like
Nothing like it.
ruins your childhood.
Nothing like,
Get it?
like that sweet childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Nationwide news.
oh,
Yeah.
This one I call On the Hunt for Immunity. What do you think it's about?
vaccines.
Hunter Biden
Oh.
pardoned by his father, Joe Biden,
Mm-hmm.
after having said that he
Oh,
would never
shocker.
do that.
I totally forgot about that.
He pardoned Hunter Biden for any legal wrongdoings for the last 10 years.
Oh
Back-
my
dating
God.
back to
11 years,
2014.
I thought it was.
Wow.
Back to 2014
Wow.
until December 2nd
And
of this year.
you can do that?
As a
Well,
president,
Yeah, as
He's
president,
president.
you can pardon anyone, can't you?
Yeah, you can get him out of jail.
So
Yeah.
they gotta find out. Like he's pardoned, whatever, but they gotta find out what happened 10 years ago, right?
Yeah,
'Cause that's so
not 10
specific.
and a half.
Yeah.
that is
Well,
specific.
that's that's back when it just so happens that back 10 years ago is when
He worked for Burisma.
Hunter, he worked
Yeah.
for Burisma Holdings, and he essentially bribed for access to the big guy.
Yeah,
right? He never
yeah.
actually referenced Joe Biden as to the vice president or as my dad. He just referred to him as the big guy or whatever. And
Is-
that was back in 2014. So
Isn't that so telling? Because Biden was like, "There's absolutely no wrongdoing, so
Wait.
why would you pardon him?"
You guys can't be on both sides of this fence.
yeah,
You can't be saying that he's too like gone and moronic to make decisions and try and run for president, and then try and argue or grasp his rationale as to why he's doing something 5 months
true.
after
Well,
he's
see-
too stupid.
See, I don't think he's doing it though. I think his wife is saying, "You better do this." And after she says it like 16 times in 5 minutes, he's like, "Okay," like makes the call or writes the thing, or she probably just hands it to him. Sign this and tell all these people that that's what you're doing.
So then Biden's not the problem. Like
It's
you got
Jill.
to you got to
It's
complain.
Obama.
It's all the other people. Then you got to just eliminate Biden. We're like, why is he doing this?
Yeah,
Well, he's too dumb. You just figure out who else the problem is.
yeah.
You'll never find out though. You'll always be swiping at branches with anything.
But
political
Yeah.
like that.
what I'm saying is, there's got to be, and ignore the fact that it's these guys. There's got to be something heinous enough that somebody couldn't be pardoned for. Are you saying there's nothing? Like, what if we found out that someone caused a war and tens of thousands of people died?
I think he can
cannot-
still pardon him
Wow.
because we don't have. You're talking about like war crimes.
No, I'm talking just, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure that's happened. It's just been hidden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. People are all worked up about it. I don't care.
It doesn't
Like-
do anything. He wasn't
Yeah.
going to jail.
Yeah.
It was just going to be a pain in his ass, and so all you dumb Republicans had something to complain about.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I
Here's what the Google, here's what the internets say. Federal pardons issued by
Which
the president.
internet? Before we keep going into this,
The Google.
The WWs.
So it's not true.
FoxNews.net.
right?
Federal pardons issued by the president apply only to federal offenses. They do not
Right.
apply to state or local offenses or private civil offenses.
Right.
Federal pardons also do not apply to cases of impeachment. Pardons for state crimes are handled by governors or a state pardon board. But it doesn't say there is no crime too big, federal crime too big that he can't pardon. So I don't know. Maybe not.
I think they have total
Wow.
pardoning power. And like Trent said, I think all he was up against was lying on a form when he purchased a firearm, right?
And tax evasion.
Tax.
Some tax-
Oh, he
some
owed
tax-
he owed some back taxes. Yeah, I'm
doesn't?
not worked up about either of those.
Why can't we
Charges.
just get to the point where we can just be like, listen, we lost.
Yeah.
Like you people, when Trump lost 4 years ago, like I still hope the country does well.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
not the
Yeah.
case. You guys are like, I want this to burn
Yeah.
for 4 years just out of spite.
Mm-hmm.
And now the other side's doing the same thing. They just want it to go down until we actually can say, you know what? We all voted. It all worked out. That other person won. And now let's hope for the best.
Yeah.
We're screwed.
Let's move
And it's
forward.
you people with kids that are the worst problem because you complain the most.
We're
What do you
so
mean,
Yeah.
terrible.
you people?
You
So
people.
terrible.
Like
That
you
was a
should
quote
want a
from
better
Tropic
life.
Thunder.
Tropic
He
Thunder.
was looking
What do
at
you
Jeff
mean?
though, not
You
at me.
should, you should want better for these kids, and you're forcing worse, and you're at home just impregnating their brains with trash.
No, he edited the movie.
Exactly.
He used protection.
Exactly. Okay, so wait.
I'm waiting.
Trent.
Yeah.
Tell us what baby oil is used for.
Oh, my!
What isn't baby oil used
No,
for?
What is this
Bill, you
rating?
know. Oh my God!
Oh, boy.
Oh boy.
What are you doing?
Amber, cover your
Does your
ears.
wife-
I know exactly
Does your
what
wife
it's
listen
for.
to this?
No, she doesn't.
Okay.
Intentionally.
Do you remember? Which
shit.
one of
Okay.
you guys remember when we went to Phil's house right after he got married? You lived in American Fork in like a duplex.
I probably live right by Amber.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
fourth word.
Yeah. See?
You were there. I went into your bedroom for I don't know why and found
I love where
the
this is going.
largest ever seen in my life. And I was like, Phil, what are you doing with this? And you were like, we use it. I'm like, for what? And you were like, oh no, we won't do that. Nope, that's where she.
Yeah.
Is
exactly.
this coming? Is this becoming
You tell
clear
me.
now, Phil? Are you,
You tell me
really
where the
happy you
came
asked
from.
this question?
I am, because this is where I was going. So, Yep.
Go for it, Phil. Have fun.
so on the baby oil thing.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is. It's a personal lubricant.
it's a
No,
lubricant.
it's
an
Yes.
idea.
Yeah, yeah.
It's for like Well, I'm sure there was probably or like baby oil wrestling that was going on at these parties.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying.
That sounds
They
neat.
took some creative liberties, I'm sure.
Naked slip and slides. That sounds like a lot of
These
fun.
are all the ideas I put out there, and you thought they were stupid.
No,
When did they
rewind
put
the
them
tape.
out?
I specifically said they oil up the hallway and push people
Yeah,
down
okay,
the hallway.
that's
That's
right,
also
that's
a great
right.
idea. He's got a 50-foot bed in his backyard.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
needs a little KY.
Exactly.
A bed?
So that's what I'm getting at is all that baby oil can't be used for what the implication is.
Yeah, if
No.
he's got
And just go with me here.
been
One
going
bottle
with it.
is enough for like a whole army of people
So-
in that way.
okay. So
Is
what
that-
are you suggesting he uses it for if it is not?
Well,
for
like
that?
what Trent's saying, it's got to be like they're oiling
Okay.
people up for the video or something like that. It can't. A
Let's
lot.
be clear. Trent never once said that. You said that.
No, what did you just say?
Naked wrestling with baby oil. What do you think is going to happen at the end of that?
Well, yeah. Well,
A
that's
champion is
That's what
awarded?
I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at because the implication is all this baby oil is a thing for rape.
I don't think that it was. I mean, it would be helpful in rape. I would imagine because I don't think it gets wet on its own. In that situation,
Are
this
you-
is a point.
Are
This
you
is a point.
Amber's face right now? It's a-
I mean,
Yeah.
I am loving this.
I don't think people. The KY was like a damning situation. It was just a weird one.
Yeah.
to
Where
have
it's like-
that.
You mean the
those
baby oil?
Copious amounts of it.
Yeah, like
It-
even if you're having a part, like why do you have 1,000 jars of it? just
Costco,
on
bulk.
hand?
Yeah. Bulk.
what?
A pallet.
That's
How-
another thing that I thought was funny. People
Can I
were-
just get the pallet?
People were like, "Why is Costco allowing him to buy a pallet?"
Wait, that's
because,
weird.
Because he walked up with a floor jack and said, "Ring it up."
yeah.
It's for
Yeah.
sell
It's
on the
not-
floor.
yeah.
Yeah, now that's what I'm saying. Now they're talking about baby oil like it's bullets. Why is he buying a pallet of bullets? Thank you, Trent. I think you're just like reinforcing everything I've been saying the last 3
Phil,
podcasts.
You've made 0 points.
I don't think that that's like a thing. It's just a funny.
No one disagrees with the
Weird
fact that
thing.
it is coincidental, but you won't even admit that it's even coincidental. Like I said, in hindsight, you look back and you go, "Oh yeah, mm-hmm."
No, I still am on the same thing because remember before they said Puff Daddy, and you'll remember we actually talked about it. One of the allegations is that he like beat a girl up
Mm-hmm.
and raped her. That's
No, there's a video of him.
Yeah.
He
or a
did.
video.
Crap.
Yeah.
That's not alleged. That's a hard one to watch.
Okay, so you watched it?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Is it the one in the hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Wait, you
drags
watched it too?
Yeah.
her- Like drags
You
her out
can
of the
watch
elevator.
this?
Yeah, you can
It was
watch
so
it.
weird, dude. He like sprayed her down with baby oil and then just started beating the shit.
And then lit her on fire.
And then
Oh,
Yeah,
guys,
okay.
can we
So
change-
Josh Powell. What?
so that's what I was getting
no,
at.
Jake.
So that's what
I
I was
had
getting
to.
at. There's a video of him beating up a girl. That's
Yeah,
the story.
It's surveillance.
Yeah.
A pile of baby
Video.
oil is like so left field.
What are you
the
listening
story?
to that it's making you think that baby oil is the story?
Well, that was just like on every headline. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, so much
He's
baby
saying that
oil.
that's
like-
not enough to incriminate someone.
And he's right.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's
right.
kind of funky.
This is just the news cycle. They need something to talk about.
It's
Well,
true. It's
and that's what
it
I'm saying.
adds an element
Yeah.
to
Well,
the
that's
whole
what I'm
thing.
saying. I
It's
didn't
just
hear
fodder.
about him. I didn't hear about the video of him beating someone up until we talked about it on this podcast. All I heard was that he does these big sex parties, freak offs or whatever, and that he has a ton of baby oil. And I was like, this is not a story.
Yeah,
if
it
your
was.
phone's in safe mode or whatever, you're not going to be able to see that movie.
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
not clean flicks ready.
If
You need to
you're,
turn it off.
it
modest.
was that video, and her suing. I think she sued him, and then the video
That
came out.
started
It
the
was
whole
that
thing.
that started the whole ball rolling.
Yeah.
Well, she came out, and then there's a bunch of other people that came forward of like, yeah, this
This
happened.
guy's pretty
Which
yeah.
which happens all the
This came
time.
out.
and then you hear about
like-
the celebrities that are involved. You're like, you guys are doing what?
Oh,
So
yeah.
did they name him?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a bunch
there's
that
a
are like,
list.
they're
and the acts that they did, where you're like,
Justin
this
Bieber is one of the
celebrity
in the major one, the most major one in the spotlight is Justin Bieber.
Okay, but I wasn't on that list, right? Get it?
Get it.
Because I'm so popular from my
And
listener.
I've owned KY jelly before.
Yeah, I literally had
I know where
I had
I know where
an
to get a gas.
Amazon
Yeah.
subscription.
You just push a button and it orders it.
Yeah, get it.
Alexa.
Yeah.
Anyway-
Alexa, next subject.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry for that segue that Jeff's gonna edit out anyway. So
We'll just slip right past it.
So presidential pardons.
Good one, Jeff.
I'm surprised Beagle left his house to go to a movie.
he did. He
Was
went
it sad?
He went with me, and we had a good time. It was a sad movie.
Gladiator
No,
is?
him.
Yeah.
Him.
Is him a sad movie?
Yeah. No, he had a good time. We had.
Was it better or worse than the one?
It was better.
The one,
Ish.
not number one,
Yeah.
but the one.
The one actually had kind of
What's
an
the
interesting
one?
story.
Oh, the
It, like,
story is
came out
awesome.
after-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like Matrix. It
I'm
was
so
supposed to be like the
lost.
next thing after.
Yeah, so
Matrix.
was it a Chinese made movie or was it a
One?
American depiction of a Chinese movie?
The one?
Yeah.
No, it was American. It just starred Jet Li. Okay, so here's the story about the one. When
Don't
we were,
ruin it. I haven't watched it.
oh, okay.
Oh.
No, tell us.
No, I'm saying like the inside
No,
story
I'm totally kidding.
was
Director's cut.
we all loved The Matrix. We watched it when we were
A
whatever.
million times.
Yeah,
So
The Matrix is so good. Well, Beagle was like, this movie that's coming out is going to be better than The Matrix.
Mm.
And
He
that-
was hyping it up so much. He's
Yeah.
like, we have to go see it in the theaters. Everyone needs to come. This is going to be the greatest movie of all time.
yeah.
Better than any movie I've ever seen. That's basically
Most
what
tremendous-
He's saying.
And long story short, it wasn't.
It was
Oh.
not that
It wasn't
good.
even
Okay.
close. So we never let him live it down. But
We really haven't.
but Beagle introduced me to Arrested Development, so he immediately redeemed
Ultimately
himself
forgiven.
for all time.
And
Okay,
then
then.
you totally redeem yourself.
I love it.
But
Good redemption story.
but it was good. I would see it. The story wasn't great. Denzel is phenomenal. I've always loved Denzel Washington, and he killed it.
That guy
So-
gives me deja vu.
Yeah.
Denzel
Wasn't it-
Washington?
Yep.
Because
Wait,
he looks
was he
the same
in a movie
the
called
last
Deja
30
Vu?
He's like
years.
in a movie
totally a
called Deja
John
Vu. It's a
Q
really
too.
bad joke.
I love Deja
I
Vu.
got it.
It's a good movie.
I got the joke.
Yeah.
She didn't even get the joke. She just asked you if you knew.
That is a
you
good
know
movie.
he was in that movie, right?
Yeah.
It's one of my top 10
Just
movies.
move on.
Yeah.
Deja
Wait,
Vu?
what?
Deja Vu.
You being
Oh.
serious?
It was a good one.
It's like top 12.
It's in my top 300 for sure.
Deja Vu was a good movie where it was like, whoa. Like I didn't see
Wait.
this is a totally different movie than I thought I was getting into.
The whole time I was like, whoa, I've seen this before.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Mm,
it's a
the
lot
bad-
like the other Denzel movie, Burning Man, Man on Fire, Man on Fire, also super good. Have you ever not seen it? It's a redemption type movie.
Is
Like
anybody the
animated?
only
Like
one
the-
that doesn't know this movie?
The
Man on
I
Fire.
don't- I also don't.
Isn't that
Both.
there's like a little girl that he like protects? or
Dakota
something?
Fanning.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
that does sound familiar.
yeah.
It's like the whole movie builds up the tension of your animosity towards the antagonist, and finally he gets it at the end.
Oh,
But super good movie. I highly recommend it.
Oh, there you go. I was glad to see Denzel in like a A-list movie for once. For it's been a while. Like he keeps doing
I
like
do
the
like
Equalizer or whatever. Yeah,
He's been doing terrible movies.
yeah.
Like,
That's what I
Yeah.
mean.
whose
Like the-
fault is that?
Like the pilot. What was the pilot? one
manager.
he was in?
Denzel's.
So I didn't realize, but apparently he has suffered from some alcoholism that he's like apparently in remission from, or like he's sober, I guess is the term, or has been for a little while.
In
Yeah.
sobriety.
And someone was holding him down and doing that to him?
No, I'm saying maybe that's why he wasn't in like great movies. They're like maybe those are the only type of movies you can get if you're drunk all the time. I don't
I
know.
need to get some more Grey
Probably.
Goose. Just
Yeah.
get me a script.
Look
Yeah.
at John
Like that.
Goodman. He was drunk the whole time.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Like the
On
whole
set.
career?
Until recently. Like he came out.
No, isn't John Goodman? Didn't he die?
No.
You're thinking of
John
John
Candy.
Candy,
Yes,
maybe.
I am.
Yeah.
No,
Yes,
John
I
Goodman
always
was like
get the
married with
two.
children.
Yeah. Okay.
He's in
okay.
like
okay.
Righteous Gemstones, but he's like
Wait, he's
Wait,
not in
Married with Children.
no,
is that
he's
modern?
on,
Oh, okay. It's like that's not Modern Family.
Roseanne.
Is it?
For some reason, the only thing I can think
okay.
Roseanne. Okay,
Roseanne.
the only thing I could think of was "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou,"
Oh yeah, he
where
is in
Where he
that.
like beats him up.
The
and
best
takes her
one's
stuff.
Big Lebowski.
Oh, there you go.
He's killer in that.
Oh yeah.
I actually only attempted to watch that like a few months ago for the first time.
You couldn't get through it?
Couldn't get into it.
Oh, it's
Did you
He's,
make it to the scene where the girls are jumping topless on the tramp?
I guess not.
Interesting.
No, he
Yeah.
watched it on Clear Play.
Isn't it like it's like a bar scene at the beginning? It's like having a conversation.
Yeah. Him and Sam Elliott are sitting down.
Yeah, yeah. And I thought
We
I
call him the dude.
yeah, I thought I'd love it, but I just
You
He's-
have to watch the whole thing. If you end in the middle, you're like, that was trash.
yeah.
It's got to get like woven together and come out
Oh,
the
yeah,
backside.
yeah.
One of
Yeah.
those.
I
He's
get it.
Sullivan on Monsters Inc., isn't he?
Yes.
You know
Yeah,
what
he
else?
is.
You know what I just watched for the first time?
What?
Die Hard.
your children. Oh,
The original.
Before Christmas?
Yeah. Well, it's Christmas season. After Thanksgiving, I allow my family to do Christmas things, like sing Christmas
You mean you
songs
accept
and
After
watch
Christmas?
Christmas
Christmas?
movies.
Okay.
You mean you accept that they're doing Christmas?
No, I like was really mean about it the first 10 years of our marriage. And I finally got it to where like we
Phil.
can at least get through Thanksgiving before there's like
Phil, I hate to be
Christmas
the one to
stuff.
bring it
No,
up.
that's good.
Yeah, see?
Thanksgiving? Yeah.
yeah,
No, I
don't
can't.
roll over Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
Phil.
hate it when people listen to Christmas music. I just barely started listening to Christmas music.
Thank you.
We just
Phil.
got our Christmas tree today.
Phil, come
Thank
here.
you.
Yes,
In price
yes, in
on
price.
someone's private property.
Phil, come here.
Yes.
I hate to
Jake.
tell. I hate to be the one that has to tell you this.
Okay.
I don't want to say it like this, but your family does it year round behind your back.
I know they do. They tell
That's
me
what
that
I'm
all the
saying.
time.
Really? Year
When,
round?
when they're in the carpooling to school, they listen to Christmas music.
No.
Just not
Oh,
around
I
me.
couldn't
How
do
can you
it.
even be mad at Crystal about it?
I'm not mad. I'm just because she's
No, it's, the music sucks. She shouldn't do it. It's just Crystal.
oh yeah.
That's where it's like,
Well, it makes
she can
sense.
do what she wants.
And the
Yeah,
other
you can
thing,
never be
and I've
like
mentioned
Crystal.
before, the other thing I boycotted hard was Christmas in July.
hard B,
Her and her family get together and do it, and I am uninvolved.
out of town.
yeah, out of town.
Just because it's
out of-
Crystal,
yeah,
that's okay.
yeah.
Because I love
Because it's Crystal, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. 'cause
You,
I'm
you
Yeah.
probably
doing
are
it.
because
Oh,
you're
wait,
not
we're supposed to be celebrating?
because you're not doing Christmas in July. You're wrong.
Totally.
Yeah.
I feel that way.
Exactly. So sorry, Jake.
That's okay.
Jake has moved on.
So-
Planning next show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
It doesn't
getting
matter
ready
if
for
he
next-
changes subjects because
Next time.
Phil's going to take it right back.
So my next
Exactly.
story is called "One Man's Groceries is Another Girl's Tantrum." You guys hear about this one?
Nope.
So there was a video of. I'll just show you the video.
Uh-oh.
It's
So
this
Phil,
little,
describe what's happening.
maybe 9 or 10-year-old girl in Walmart
Oh, right.
Grabbing-
yeah.
grabbing the produce and the cheese and,
And she's just
throwing
throwing
them
it
on the floor.
down. She is mad.
And that mom
Is that the
grandma's
parent
doing
right behind?
nothing.
We have no idea where the parent is.
I love this. I
She's
wish
just-
I was filming this.
I wish
So-
that old lady would just whack that.
That
She's
old lady
just, like,
turns
picking up
around,
stuff.
turns back, and smiles, and at everybody. And this girl's she's clearly angry about something. She didn't.
She's not special needs? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, so you got
Yeah.
these bystanders, these older ladies who are like, "You don't." They're
Oh,
grabbing
yeah,
her.
I wouldn't
"Stop it,
touch
stop
the
it."
child. That's
and then
a
you
no.
got
Yeah,
people who are
I
like,
wouldn't
"Don't touch
touch her."
her. Don't do anything about it."
Yeah,
You
they're
don't know
two
what
ladies
she's-
like trying to grab her.
You don't
She's
know what she's
squirming
been,
around on the
what
floor.
she's going through.
yeah, don't touch her.
She
How-
might be rabid.
Yeah, she's
She could have rabies.
she's foaming at the mouth, and anyway.
Yeah, let
so
the
this-
employees handle it. What dumb ladies.
Oh, the employees
No.
won't do anything.
well,
Flip the
well, that's
cart
what I'm
upside
saying.
down and just sit on
and
top of
put
the
her in
cart.
it.
Yeah.
she's small enough.
Put a cart on the top of her. Is that what you said?
I said flip the cart upside down.
Oh my God, she's
Oh,
Satan.
Poor girl.
Yeah, I feel
She's
kind of
probably
bad for
like-
this girl.
Probably like her parents dead or something.
Or they
She
didn't-
looks evil.
Or they didn't
After
buy
Because
Yeah,
this
but that
doesn't look
kid-
like a tantrum like, oh, I'm not getting what I want. So
Or they
I'm
Yeah.
gonna,
didn't.
like,
They
throw
didn't
stuff
buy
down
her
like this.
the Taylor Swift record. She
Maybe it's a
wanted or
cry
something.
for help.
Not
Yeah,
to bring
that's
it
what
back
I'm
to the wrong
thinking.
story, but maybe this is what Jean Benet
Oh,
did the
she's-
night
Oh
before.
my!
Oh, that's what they tried to say.
Boo.
That's what they tried to say. They were like,
Oh, did that broke?
So she grabs some.
Oh, that
Oh, here we
sounds
go, here we
fun.
go.
She grabs some grape juice glass Martinellis and throws them and shatters
That's
them.
where the
This
problem
is hard because what do you do in this situation? Because if they were an adult, they would be tackled. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
by
yeah.
security at Walmart. Like
Well-
because she's a child,
Oh,
like
wait, someone
what
was
is the
carrying her away.
appropriate thing to do?
Smack that kid.
was that the parent that was
audio
picking
coming
her
out
up?
of there? Audio was coming out of there.
Oh yeah.
That was not. we don't know where the video stopped after that, but
Jake?
we don't know where the parents were.
So nowadays, like even people stealing stuff from a store, they don't stop them. The employees are instructed not to stop them,
Not interfere at all.
even like asset protection. It's like gather all the data you can, try and get their license plate from their car. We'll report it to the cops.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
whatever happens, right?
Because otherwise, it's like
You
a
could get
lawsuit.
sued. Who
Yeah.
knows? What that girl was doing, I very much question what I would do.
I'd
I don't
call
know
the
if
police.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I dare to
As a
touch her.
I would
bystander.
grab that kid and
Yeah.
go throw her outside.
You would just
You would.
grab her and beat her up.
100%.
Yeah. Pull her
Not
hair.
beat her up.
Oh.
Throw her
So
outside.
you just grab her so that she.
Someone's got to
in a
do
way.
something. Like if no one does
Yeah.
anything,
Oh no! I would just stand back, call the police, and just enjoy the show.
Actually, you know
Unless
what?
she became a danger to someone else or herself.
Well, when she started throwing the glass Martinelli's
Yeah.
bottles, that became like, okay.
Well, and I think the two
That's-
people kind of like crowded her in.
And that's when
then.
that's
They're
when
like,
they really
paying for all
came
that
in.
damaged grocery.
Yeah.
Who's
Her
gonna what?
parents probably not.
The
No,
Waltons.
Walmart.
Oh yeah, they're fine.
Yeah,
So
they
then who
put that under.
pays for that grocery?
They just write it off as lost goods.
Yeah,
probably.
technically the
Who-
taxpayer.
Write off to what?
The company.
Who pays for that?
Well, it's a write-off. It's
Well,
a loss.
Walmart already
it is
paid.
a loss, but you still got to pay for.
Walmart
you
paid
fucking
for
have
it.
to pay for it to write it off.
Walmart paid for it.
Yeah.
It's theirs.
So then, who pays when Walmart has to write something off? The other people who go to the store,
Yeah.
they still have to
If-
make that money back. A write-off, you still spend money for a write-off.
Yeah.
Anyone's like, "Oh, I just wrote it off." Like you still spent the money.
Yeah.
Well, it's just
Right. It's Walmart.
it's
that's-
money that would have gone to taxes, but
No,
didn't.
it is not.
Yeah,
Taxes.
that's what a write-off
Not
is.
necessarily.
Because you're spending money and you're saying that's a loss. So I pay a little less taxes now
But if you would
because
have,
of
if
that
you would have
loss.
spent say $5,000 on something and you got a $5,000 gain, but instead you spent $5,000.
Yeah.
If you kept the $5,000, what would your tax exposure be? Would it be 5,000?
No.
No.
Well, no, whatever the tax is on
You would be
5,000.
probably roughly 40 to 35% of that.
Yeah.
So it's the $5,000 is not just like, well, you're going to pay $5,000 anyway.
Yeah.
So
But I'm okay with that, is what I'm saying.
So
Like,
I just-
if Walmart has to pay a little money.
They're gonna regain that money back from you.
Oh, I don't shop there, so. and you know why? You know why I don't go to Walmart?
because there's little tantrum kids there.
Because you can't use your phone.
to pay.
I've gone to Walmart.
It is a bomb shelter.
I have gone there
You
like.
can use the Walmart app.
Oh,
If
really?
you have the Walmart app, you
'Cause-
can scan the QR code on the screen and pay.
Because the last 3 times I've gone in and waited in line for 20 minutes and then been like, oh, I don't have my
yeah, they don't
wallet.
have mobile pay.
And every time I'm like, there's no way I can pay. They're like, no, sorry. But you're claiming there's an app I could have used.
The Walmart app, but you have to have a payment method,
Set up in there.
a card in your account.
If you find me in Walmart, there's a problem. But here's a question: have you ever been in a situation like that in your life? Because I just realized that I
No.
have actually.
Really?
really?
So I walked. Well, kind of. So I walked into Walgreens. I can't remember why. Probably for something epic. But
like KY jelly.
yeah, Kentucky jelly. So and there was like these 3 kids that were skater kids, obviously, and there was a man that was like stopping them from leaving. And the woman who was working there was like, hey, you know, these guys are trying to steal something and blah, blah, blah. And I stepped up next to the guy and I'm like, do you need help? Because there's 3 of them and only one guy was stopping them. And he's like, no, it's okay. And he actually pulled his shirt up and he was a police officer. I didn't realize it because he was in regular clothes, but I was ready to freaking stop those kids because I hate when I witness stuff like that going on in like my stores where I go and frequent, it pisses me off so bad.
Makes your blood boil.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
so weird because that was us. Like we were those kids. So I don't know.
Not really.
No.
We didn't
And we
shop
would-
there.
That,
And we
that was
would-
extreme.
Well, no, yeah.
No.
That was a little more extreme.
That's what
than
I'm
some
saying. I
things we
feel
would
like
do.
there's more that like, where are her parents?
Yeah.
You know,
That's
if
all the
she's-
comments in there were like, "Where the heck are the parents? Why?"
Yeah, that's what I'm
are
saying.
the
If she's throwing a
grandparents? Why-"
tantrum because like the parent's not buying her something and she's having that reaction, then that pisses me off.
Yeah,
That just looks
yeah,
weird.
it did look. Tantrum isn't the word I would put on
Yeah.
that. There's a big
That's
problem.
beyond tantrum.
there. Yeah. Well,
there's some serious problems at home, or she might, be.
Yeah.
It looked to
have
me
some
like a kid
chemical-
that just like found her mom dead or something like
We're
that.
all saying the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a parenting problem.
Yeah.
The kid is a
Found
piece
her
of shit.
mom dead.
So
Yeah.
she went to Walmart.
I'm
We're
going to
not all
Walmart.
saying the same thing.
No,
Where's the
I'm just saying the
baked goods?
kid's a bad kid because
Well, no, like
Because of bad parenting.
Because
Yeah.
mom, she could have found mom dead, and it's not mom's fault. Like mom could have been murdered.
I
or
love this
something.
scenario that you're.
I'm just saying that.
But
No, I
what
know.
was she wearing?
Something
but-
something really traumatic is what I felt like was the cause
Yeah.
when I was watching
and
that.
she ran to Walmart.
Yeah.
or maybe walked into a Walmart.
Something
or,
happened at the store.
This is
Yeah.
intriguing. I
Yeah.
want
Something happened-
to know more.
Yeah.
Something happened at the store.
Because right
she
now I'm
like
just
threw the
frustrated.
thing on the floor, and then she just looked around at everyone like, "What?"
No one's gonna do anything.
Yeah,
Yeah. My guess
Really?
is her mannerisms in that 30-second video told me that she probably does the same thing at home and her parents don't punish her for it.
See, I think she's an adult.
I
I'm just saying.
her
Jeff's still
her
going on
many
his
different-
adult thing.
her kids don't
situations.
punish her for it.
Oh
We
my
have to find
gosh.
out more so that next time
Yeah,
we'll be like, Amber, you were right.
Let's have her on the show.
it was weird
Yeah.
though.
If people need to step in, like not just with this little, like with, if you notice something is
Takes a
askew,
village. It takes a village.
then jump in. Like the cops can't
Oh,
do
hell
it.
yeah.
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 No,
I've reported so many people where it's like that person's clearly stealing out of that car.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stop, move
Yeah.
in, and just like do something about it.
Oh,
You know what?
yeah.
To the
Say
point
I
where-
something.
agree.
Don't just film it.
To the point where like I have a park by my house that I know it's one of those things where like I know for sure there's drug deals going down there, but can you really put a finger on it? Not really, because I've never seen them exchange. But like when you have cars mysteriously parking and people never getting out of the car for like an hour and a half, like I drive somewhere and I'm come back in like an hour and they're still sitting there in their car waiting. It's a drug deal.
Yeah.
They're told to wait there until someone gets there. I will stop. Like there's no reason for me to stop. I will stop and wait for them to look at me, and then I'll wave to them and drive off. Because
And
it's
they'll be
like
gone.
I
So
want to
you're
be
basically
like
telling them,
I
I
freaking
see you.
sitting there. Just make sure I see you, because they think they're just like inconspicuous or whatever. But you got to
Yeah.
do something about it,
Right.
even if it's as much as when I see a person riding a bicycle, like an adult riding a bike with a backpack. You know what I mean? I call those guys scouts because they really do. They'll go through neighborhoods, riding around,
Oh yeah.
looking for easy targets to pick off.
It's
Packages
like a
on the
1
doorstep.
a.m., 1 p.m., 11 a.m. We were like, what are you doing? You should be at your job.
I will specifically
Yeah.
follow those guys and roll their window down and say something to them because I'm like,
Throw a quarter at their butt.
yeah.
That's doing something.
Hashtag Devin.
yeah.
Yeah, that's another
Okay,
inside
inside
one.
joke.
But
Yeah.
Gotcha.
anyway, you got to do something, even if it's just
Yeah. Do you remember the Naked Mountain Man?
Oh my God, yeah.
okay.
I would.
We weren't doing anything, and he was having a great time.
Yeah.
Also,
Like
truth be told,
hiking. Yeah.
he wasn't fully naked.
He was.
He had boots on.
Okay, true. He had boots on, naked, and a walking stick. And
Wait.
we were just walking. It was up American Fork Canyon, and we both saw him, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" So we turned around and left. And he told a park ranger, and I can remember thinking like, "Oh, I wouldn't have said anything. I just would have like, oh, he's just enjoying
naked guy.
nature, naked
Yeah.
guy, yeah." But then I remember you saying something like, "Well, if there are kids around or anything like that," and I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Like
So
for
good
us,
job.
We were like 16, 17. Or
Yeah.
like,
yeah."
who cares? Some naked guy walking around. But it's in the campground right above
It's in a
Tillamook Park.
public
Like,
space where
there's
there's
gonna be little kids,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and yeah, there's great, be naked in the woods, but go into the woods
Way in there.
He was like, yeah.
and don't
Enjoying
perch on a rock.
It was. He perched. He like lifted his leg.
Captain
like, he
Morgan?
Did Captain Morgan. Yeah,
Oh,
with his
man.
walking stick. I was like paralyzed. I was like,
Wait, he had an actual walking stick,
He
or
had
is
a
that what you're
walking
calling?
he was leaning on it.
kickstand,
Sorry.
kickstand or walking stick.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be intense.
It was.
So
It wasn't. Also,
it.
we saw
I guess
a
for
naked
me-
person and we turned around. It was not intense.
Well, it just makes you think. Like, was there like a whole forest of them?
I need to. I
Behind him?
actually need an
Yeah.
alibi from you, Phil. I haven't.
That's true. Back then, you never knew.
So intervene when you see some potentially heinous, dangerous.
Yeah.
Hell
Naked
yeah.
You would
Bad
you would
stuff
touch
going
the
on.
kid?
Would I grab?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, see, I'd
Like
be
grab it by the arm
I'd be
and
afraid
march
to
it
do
outside?
that
Would I
Yeah.
smack a kid?
because
No.
people like
But
sue
you
over
could
that.
get like repercussions from that,
Yeah.
like legal
Come what may.
repercussions.
If someone is gonna sue you and they have film of you grabbing a kid by the arm and walking it outside,
Yeah, it was on
and
camera.
letting the door
But
go.
they're gonna come
After-
back with X-rays. You
Good.
broke their arm in
After
6 places.
then all you need to do is cut your foot and say, I stepped on this thing that she threw at the floor right in front of me.
The
I was
people they
getting her
should be
out.
taken to court or whatever are the people that are just filming it
yeah.
or walking by
Yeah.
and not doing anything.
That's like an accomplice.
Oh, see, that would have been me. I would have just sat there.
Really?
Yeah.
And you would just tell your kids, like, look at this little monster, kids. We're gonna do
No,
nice.
if my kids were there, I would have left. I'd have taken my kids away
Yeah.
from that situation
But then you would go back and watch.
I'd go back
while
and
they're
watch.
not watching.
because I'd want to see like how it shakes out. But I wouldn't touch the kid.
Go ahead, Micah. Play with the Xbox.
And
I
unless,
got
like I
something to
said, if the kid became a danger to someone else or themselves,
watch. She was.
And,
I think.
and
she
I don't
was
even
when
think
she-
throwing the glass was
I think that was dangerous.
necessarily dangerous. If
think
she
it was.
threw it at someone and they had to like dodge, then I would have grabbed the kid.
You know what would have been really interesting is if an adult just started like matching her energy. Just like start throwing cheese with her.
You're freaking right.
Screw cheddar.
hate Donald Trump.
Screw cheddar.
Like when kids cry and their parents cry in their
Bitcoin hit $100,000 today.
Wow.
Oh, it did.
100.
You know, I
$100,000.
cashed out before it did. Yeah,
At what?
50%. I
Of
made
that?
So, but the value was what, 97, 8,
something
maybe?
like that.
That
I
was
bought.
just recently.
I only bought $100 worth. Like
Wow. So
in
you
O-
pulled out 150
in October, I
Shut
got 100.
up.
Once I was like
That's
50%, I'm
amazing.
like, that's a killer return. I've never invested in anything in my life. This is the first time, probably the last. I'm on top.
You haven't even invested in your
awesome.
children.
Yeah.
It's nothing like the Congress makes in their investments, like 300%.
Oh,
It's
really?
like Nancy Pelosi makes
Wow.
300% returns on her.
Weird
stocks.
how she's such a good inside trader.
Yeah, that is weird.
Interesting.
How she knows everything because she's like
Involved.
that guy on Joe
husband
Rogan
is
was
like-
claiming that she, like,
and dressing.
Mark Andreessen.
yeah, that she's like she's like the head of some committee that can just like debank anyone she wants,
Yeah.
like according to him.
Yeah, it was a
D-Bank.
very interesting statement that he was making with
Yeah.
that. Because I don't know if he's a very smart guy and
Yeah.
knows way more than me, but I just have never heard that from anyone ever.
I haven't either,
And you would think that people would be on that.
and unless
If
they
it was-
really are all afraid that they're next, I guess I don't know. But if you're confused, listener, this guy was basically claiming that, like, if you step out of line or whatever, she has the control to pretty much, she can call up your bank and be like, you know, don't do business with them anymore. And then overnight they send you a letter like, hey, come get all your money because
But then
and
he tied
your
that
cards
to
don't
like
work.
weed, and he was like marijuana dealers or like distributors.
Yeah.
in legal states like Colorado 15 years ago, like you couldn't get processed credit cards because all like federal stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that's all her. I'm like, I don't know that it's all her.
Well, and he was saying that a lot of crypto was tied to it. It was like a lot of and he was claiming that you couldn't start a bank. Like since 2008, like no banks have been.
Yeah, you can't
Started.
you can't start an AI. You can't
Yeah,
a bunch of other things. I'm like, this is very interesting to listen to.
yeah, yeah.
How much
I
truth is there
No,
behind it?
Yeah.
I haven't looked into any of the like details, but
Did you bring up anything about maritime law?
oh yeah, Maritime Admiralty.
law.
He did like that was his middle
Just
name in high school.
Discount everything he said.
Yeah.
No good.
So, but yeah, that was interesting.
And he was on Rogan,
yeah.
and Rogan wasn't like questioning
Rogan-
everything.
Oh, he
saying?
was. He was like, wait,
Okay.
what? And he's like, oh yeah,
He wasn't
Yeah.
questioning. He was trying to get him to expand.
yeah.
Oh,
He
okay.
wasn't like
Yeah, I
challenging
guess
him is
he's-
a better way to say it.
Yeah.
But Rogan
He's a
does a great
professional
job of that. Of
podcaster.
like, he lets people kind of like just bury themselves.
Yeah.
And then
yeah, he does.
if he
do that.
doesn't have enough information to fight him on it, he's like, I don't know what to tell you. But
Yeah.
if that's what you believe. Let's discuss this and let's
Yeah.
get into
Yeah.
a weird conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people
He's
do.
great that
They're
way.
like, "Oh, Joe Rogan should have blah blah blah," and he'll be like, "That's not my job."
Yeah.
Like-
Give them a platform to talk, and
Yeah.
we ask questions. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting people. Like,
Well,
what?
Yeah.
Why
that's
not?
a good
Yeah.
interviewer, though.
He
like,
really
let
is.
them go on.
Yeah,
let
he
them
really is.
talk.
Yeah.
As long as it's, it's not your job to be judge, jury. Did you guys ever listen to Art Bell back in the day?
before George Norrie.
Yeah, before George Norrie on Coast to Coast AM. He always talked. He had the craziest guests on. talking about interdimensional Sasquatches and
Yeah.
like
Was
just
that like on K-Bear 101 at night sometimes?
I don't remember what
It's
channel
still
it was
on
on, but it's still on at night.
KNRS
Yeah.
105
It's like an
9.
AM thing
what
mostly.
did you just say to me? KNRS? What is that?
1059. It's a
You guys listen to the radio?
Oh, dude, I listen to the radio all the time.
I do.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Is that because of
guys
your
are
car?
Old.
it's because it's built into my vehicle.
I
yeah.
canceled my XM subscription because I lost my job. So I listen to FM radio now.
Did you find it yet?
But there's like
I
free
still lost.
Pandora and Spotify.
Yeah, I don't want to stream from my phone. There's a 3-second delay and it's weird.
Mm.
I listen to the radio a lot.
If I hit pause on my phone, it takes 3 seconds for my radio on my car to register that I tapped, and I don't like that.
How
so I just
long
listen
does it
to
take
FM.
for your FM to pause?
It doesn't.
Your FM very likely is digital also.
it is
Yeah.
because
Except for yours. Yours is probably.
No, you can listen to digital. You can listen to the radio, and then if you go to the website, like
Mhm.
Alexa, play blah blah blah, like a radio station,
Yeah.
it has delays on it. I don't know why I know that.
It's because, so like modern cars will have digital FM radio,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just what it sounds like. It's actually more like a cell phone signal than it is a broadcast. So that's why one is delayed because the other one is more live.
Yeah.
This is
Anyway,
exciting.
Art Bell was incredible at listening to these guys who are completely crazy and just allowing them to be crazy and asking them questions like, now, what evidence did you come across that leads you to believe that? You know
Right,
what I mean?
without
and just let
challenging
them
them and
keep
calling
on
them
talking.
dumb.
Yeah.
And it was awesome because you got to figure out for yourself if this guy was crazy or not. And half the
Yeah.
time, the crazy ones would just bury themselves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the ones that you were more believable were like, oh, like he's actually carrying his own story. So I think that's important.
I think
Yeah.
even if it's your idea is crazy, it's still interesting to listen. Like, even if I don't agree with you,
Mm-hmm.
it's great to hear, like, why do you think this dumb thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, we've gotten or I should say some segments of society have gotten to where it's like, if there's a thing that's wrong, you can't let it be heard. Like people who are amplifying that wrong thing are like letting people hear things that are wrong. It's
Right.
like,
It's because
so freaking what?
Yeah.
It's like,
We need to filter out all
Yeah.
the disinformation.
yeah, well, that
is
was like the
so
most
dumb.
absurd parts. Like Biden was as old and ancient and as he could be, his whole presidency, whatever.
Where did that come from?
The weirdest parts of the
He just likes to randomly say it.
He had to
Just-
Yeah.
slip it in
It's
there.
his Tourette.
the
Biden's old.
Biden is so old. But the weirdest things Biden did by far, I think, were like the censorship things, like where they tried to create that Ministry of Truth or whatever. They didn't
No.
call it that, but they called it like the Disinformation Society. I can't remember. They were trying to make like
Yeah.
a government agency that was going to decide like
What
if
was
something
factual and what,
yeah. And like go after it. Go to social media companies and be like, you got to take that down. That's misinformation.
Yeah.
That was before
They were
COVID,
doing that,
right?
weren't
Yeah.
they? Yeah. Like on
And
Facebook and different stuff like that, they were like,
like in
And on
inofficial,
Twitter.
non-official
Yeah.
capacity, like yeah.
well, or I think that they would put up like a note before you were able to view a post of just like,
Mhm.
this has been flagged that it possibly might
Yeah.
be shit.
Yeah.
So
This might possibly potentially be pro-Trump. Warning.
Right.
Just kidding.
Yep.
Anyway, I don't know why I went off on that.
Neither
Yeah,
do
we
I.
don't
What
know
were we
why
even
either.
talking about?
Neither do I.
Oh, we were talking about like
Literally, we were talking about Jean-Benet Ramsey, and you were like, and you're like, oh, it's a Biden. This is a Biden. I saw,
Biden old.
I saw a Biden.
exactly.
So my last story has I don't know if anybody heard, but the United Health CEO
Yeah.
was gunned down in this
Oh,
sidewalk.
I just
New
heard
York
about
this
this.
morning.
Who is it? Who is this guy?
His name
Oh, an insurance.
United
CEO.
Health, the CEO of United Health, which is like one of the largest health insurance companies.
Sounds like
insurance or-
Divided Health. Am I right?
You might- no, they don't have a
It's
CEO.
it's just
Person
interesting.
with
Like he
jokes
was
Brian
being
Thompson.
investigated by the DOJ right now.
He was
and
just
then-
indicted, by the DOJ for something that he had information. or something.
really?
Like information he had, and people are thinking like this is like a hush job,
Really?
kind of
Wow.
like an Epstein. You're going down. You know too much.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Because it did seem like a professional thing, didn't it? Like the guy rolled up in a ski mask or something. And
Do you want to watch
That
it?
is
Super
professional.
professional. Yeah.
Yeah. Professional skier.
well,
Yeah.
typically, if it's like a crime, and I don't know, I'm making the statistic up as I go, but I would assume if it's a crime of passion, like somebody's mad at them, they typically like want
Right.
people to see, like I'm mad, I'm killing him.
Well, and do you think the insider trading is one of the things they were looking into him for? Like, do you think that the government and the politicians want that to be like unraveled?
Oh,
Yeah.
back to Nancy
Could you
Pelosi.
imagine?
I think it's there's no question it's there. We just need to have someone with the balls to do it.
Oh yeah, to kill people.
I mean, that's fine too. It just depends on which people. No, to like investigate it,
Like Congress and stuff like that.
yeah,
all
because
those like
everyone who says they're going to all of a sudden just either disappears or they just I don't know. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm sure they get like lined with a bunch of money.
yeah.
Whoa, is this it? They have video of it?
This is a video of someone
crap.
filming the surveillance camera outside where he was shot. I don't know if you want to watch it.
I do.
It's not that graphic. It's blurry.
Is that the guy? The
it
guy
in
with the
safe mode?
backpack is the assassin.
Yeah, so that guy in the blue suit right there you see is early in the morning this morning coming out of a hotel in New York City.
Can we run this
Walking
through
down
my
the street.
clear play?
Yeah, clear play it right now. And then this kid.
Oh, he's got
Oh,
a silencer.
Right in the back.
Cow.
Wow.
And that
Whoa,
other person just
what is
ran.
he doing? Is he having a malfunction?
That bystander on the woman
Loading.
ran away. There's
wow.
a car. See the car to the left of him? He's got his foot on the brakes.
Yeah.
That's his getaway?
And then he takes his foot off the brakes. He just walks right in front, runs across the street, and gets away. I think he's
That
still on the
is
loose.
He doesn't have the
Crazy.
balls.
No,
to
go
just-
back. Because this sounds silly, but I think it does have something. Number one, his gun looks very long, like it's a
It's a
silencer.
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 Number two, it looks like he has a malfunction.
Well,
multiple.
After like 2 shots, he like
Someone-
had to re-rack it. or
Someone responded saying it looks like it might be this B&T Station 6 9mm.
And
Yeah.
does he have to cock it each time?
Yeah. So it's a really weird. I don't know if you can hear through the.
We're gonna put some 165 grain subsonics through it, and see how she runs. Still got the wipe in there.
So he's just holding that handgun
That's a
that looks.
huge bullet.
Well, that's the whole magazine,
A 9mm is pretty small.
but
Yeah, it's quiet.
he cocks it, but he has to turn it, and it doesn't
Oh.
have a
That
spring
does
that
look
pushes
like
the
what that
shell
guy
out.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people are saying like this is not just a standard civilian issue
It's really
handgun.
quiet.
This is for sport. This is for competitive shooting type thing.
Yeah.
Because they have a closed bolt system and it makes it more accurate.
Worry about Bronx.
And
Well,
Yeah.
it's
Instead of
super
an
quiet.
semi-auto.
yeah,
I
really
mean,
quiet.
that's the thing you'd want to shoot someone quietly.
It's just so crazy that he was walking down the sidewalk and did it and wasn't worried about like a pedestrian.
Well, they said it was like in the middle of the night. or
well, that
early
other
this morning.
person was like
Early in the
almost
morning.
right in front of.
So-
look at the person
So going
on the
back
right.
to the video,
See, this makes sense, Phil, to not do something. The dude's got a gun. Then don't go stop this.
No, I see. In this, I disagree. See that person in black over on the right?
on the far right,
they should have
there's a-
charged that mother and
The
just.
woman.
Not with a
punched
gun.
him.
Not if the
Not
guy
with
had
the
a
gun.
gun.
Oh, I'd get him.
You
No, he,
Right
he was
here.
clearly
Right here where he walks by.
that's
Jump at him.
that's
Get him.
clearly a woman.
Yeah, women can't tackle guys. They can.
They
let me tell
definitely
you.
can.
But his handgun was definitely not. It wasn't semi-automatic,
Wasn't a
so he
semi-auto.
couldn't have just easily turned.
Well, and you
Anyway,
don't know if it's like a public shooting or you know what I'm saying. Like he could have easily just turned and
Well, that's what I mean.
Killed that
If
one
I
guy.
were that
That's what
person,
I'm
I'd be
saying.
like, I'm about to die unless I get that guy.
Phil,
So I just would have.
Yeah, so
Nice.
everybody.
I'm
I mean,
excited right
There's
now.
a fight, flight, or freeze.
Ready.
Fight, flight, or
So we
freeze.
know Phil's
Everyone's
fight.
has a different
Yeah.
response.
okay.
It like Trent. If you want to rile Trent up, get some kids to throw bottles all over a store.
Yeah, that's
Me,
probably
it's
what
like
it'd take.
pull out a gun and
but Phil, yours
Let's-
is
let's
weird.
get going.
You're weird though because you've openly admitted that You fantasize about trying to saving someone and dying in the process and being emulated, right?
No, I think you got that a little. It was close.
I don't
But
think
what
that's,
was it that I said?
Like this situation, if you were to stop that man from killing someone else,
No, I fantasized about having a gun and someone like pulling out a gun to shoot people, and then I shoot them
and
first.
then you get him.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's weird.
Yeah,
I've had things where I'm like walking with my child and like, what if this car came? I would heroically throw her out of the way and save my daughter's life.
And
that's fine.
see, it's called narcissism, Jeff.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay to have. It's okay to have a little bit of it.
Do you have your concealed weapons?
I don't. I never carry a gun,
But you
So-
don't need it anymore.
But I've.
In
It doesn't mean I haven't
Yeah.
fantasized about it.
You can
can
you
carry,
can
just
conceal
not
without a
load.
license.
You can conceal
Right.
carry.
It just can't
Really?
be in the chamber.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's right.
But with the concealed, you can have it
Mhm.
loaded.
And there's also
Or-
certain areas that if you have your concealed carry, you can take your weapon in certain areas that you cannot in other areas.
Yeah, but having a concealed permit is good because it's transferable to a lot of states.
And not just that,
You can't just go to Colorado and say, "Well, I could open carry, I could conceal in Utah." So,
like I have my concealed carry. I don't carry that much, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jeff carries everywhere he goes,
yeah,
all the time.
Don't let him.
Yeah.
lie to
it's a
you.
22 short, like
Yeah.
really short.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the other good thing is it's really easy to purchase weapons too. Like you just show them your card, you pay them like $5,
Right.
And
That
it-
would be nice.
and it's instant. Like they don't even question you. You're just like, yeah, okay, good. You
Yeah.
fill out the form just like you always do. But just having that, they don't have to do any background checks or anything. They're just like, okay, good,
yeah.
go purchase it.
See, I don't carry because, and I don't know these statistics. This is just what makes sense in my head. I think if I carry, I'm much more likely to have an accident or like an accident with my kids, or end up shooting somebody I didn't need to, than actually like
coming
Have-
across a
having-
situation where you need it.
right.
Yeah.
So I just don't. But
But then how are you going to stop a shooting?
I'm gonna like leap on him like a maniac, just like I said. Like as soon as that guy walks by, just get
Yeah.
him.
God, you
He's got the
couldn't
maniac
run
look
at
in his
that
eye.
guy.
I know, like I just be like, oh my ankle, oh my back, like on the way towards him, and then I just lay down on the ground, like, don't take me.
I've seen enough police videos that I know that I carry this around with me everywhere. It's a freaking pocket knife. But like, there's enough shit that this pocket knife would do that, like, there are like, people are idiots with guns. Like, the cops are really good with their guns. They train with them constantly. They know their stuff. Most people that carry guns just don't. They don't even know what they're doing. They can unload a whole magazine at cops and not shoot any of them.
Yeah, or
And-
cops can unload whole magazines.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah.
If you remember, and I brought this up before, if you watch the Boston Marathon bomber shootout, when they catch him, they claim that they unload like so many thousand rounds like into the surrounding houses that
Yeah.
they found and never hit those two kids.
Do you want to hear
Like,
my theory about this? And
What?
I obsessively watch police videos.
Yeah.
I think you guys know this, but the big cities, Chicago, Boston, LA, New York, they have terrible, and I mean it, terrible police training.
Yeah.
Those police officers do not know what they're doing. They're confronted with these crazy situations, and I watch their body cam. They suck.
Yeah.
They have no, but then you see a similar situation in Texas or Kentucky or West Virginia or Florida or something that's very like pro gun, whatever you want to say. They'll handle them. Like I've seen police videos where the cop shoots his gun once, one single bullet, which is crazy. If the guy's got a gun, he'll shoot once and be like, suspect down, headshot, he's gone, he's done. Right.
Yeah.
But then other videos,
single shot fired.
other videos, it's like they unloaded 78 rounds and didn't hit the suspect, and you're like, what? How is
Yeah.
that even possible? So anyway,
Could be. I remember my dad was a cop, and when he traveled, he would trade patches with officers.
Mhm.
So like he had extra patches and he'd go trade. And he like went up and talked to a cop in Boston, and the guy like had a stomach the size of,
Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts,
a large
yeah.
stomach.
and the guy was just like so confused. He's like, why would you be like, trading. Are you proud of your job? I don't understand. Like, it was like a weird, really weird interaction. And that's one cop in Boston. That's not like a. That's
Who represents every cop in
right.
Boston. Yeah, I
He
understand.
was the union rep, but
He ate all the other cops.
exactly.
He's the unicop.
But that was my impression too. Like growing up, cops were like they could chase you down.
oh, they
Yeah.
take you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But over there, it's just like that guy has a job. What's that called? Like a tenured
Yeah.
job or whatever.
It's
Very
yeah.
comfortable.
Like you'll see a shooting situation. I saw one in Farmington. They had body cams of this shooting situation, and I was like, okay, they pretty well knew what they were doing. Like they were trained. They knew. They kind of backed out. They whatever. And then you see a similar situation that took place in L.A. and you're like, all of a sudden one guy shoots and it's just freaking chaos. They're like shooting across each other, and like one of the police officers gets hit by another police officer, and you're like, holy crap, this is amateur hour.
Yeah. I mean, it's a weird thing too, because like you could probably get all the training in the world, and if it's your first time being shot at, it's like who knows what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
Like Marines like get probably some of the best training, and I'm sure they get out there and get going, and it's like probably half of them freak out.
They
you
get
know?
top shelf PTSD too.
Yeah.
Like the best.
Exactly.
Yeah, they do.
Anyway, that's crazy. They just gunned down. Like that's got to be a professional job, right? That's
Oh,
what
it
that
looks like
was.
it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even just the weapon he used, it's like that's not a.
Yeah. And it's like backpack and hoodie. It's just like that guy's ready to.
He knew
Where
who
the
he
camera
was going
too,
for.
probably.
Yeah.
He didn't shoot the bystander, the woman who ran away.
Yeah. Didn't
He
shoot
didn't
the
shoot at the
witness.
Didn't go
car
for
that
a
almost hit
robbery.
him when he was running away. He,
Very calm appearing, like
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
like freaking out or running.
That
or,
person in their car was probably just like looking at Instagram with the music on.
Yeah.
That was a pretty quiet gun, like nothing else.
Yeah.
going
Yeah,
on.
yeah. They probably
Yeah.
didn't even know.
He's probably watching YouTube videos. Yeah.
cop videos.
Jamming out to P. Diddy.
Watching cop videos
Yeah. Watching cop videos.
on his phone
Waiting for his Uber.
at
Or he's Uber waiting
5:30
for
in
his
the morning.
passenger.
Yeah.
Yep.
So lessons learned.
Don't be a CEO.
Don't be the CEO of United Health.
Okay.
I'm interested to see what
Noted.
comes out with that, because that was only less than 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a feeling it's going to be nothing.
Maybe
It's
not.
like a guy
Yeah.
shoots at Trump. He's dead.
well,
they burn his
haven't
body.
found him, the shooter, right? I think he's still at large.
Yeah, they don't know who he is.
I mean, he
Yeah.
doesn't seem that big.
It's like
He wasn't that
Epstein. Epstein's dead. It's just like, oh yeah, that probably was a inside job. Everyone's just like, well,
Yeah, because of who like is exposed for the issues.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
It's like it just goes away.
Who's at stake?
Hmm.
Also, interfere when you see dangerous things happening.
Yeah.
Bill.
Yes.
If there's a gun, I'll do it.
Donate to Maven's Cinema's
Oh,
Kickstarter.
you're summarizing this episode.
Yeah.
I see what's happening
Yeah.
right now.
Lessons learned.
You're getting ready to close out.
Don't join the FLDS church.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Still in teenagers.
You can land your airplane on the freeway just fine.
But you can't drive on it just fine.
But you can't. Don't drive into stopped traffic on the freeway.
Valid.
Hunter Biden, Daddy's gonna set you free. Hunter Biden, why don't you climb up on my knee? Well, look at you, you're all grown up. You're a big, big man, and I pardon you. It's uncontested.